Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Thinking and Growing Rich with me, Ciaran Deeney, and Brian Cassidy here. So, this week we've got an amazing chapter and an amazing subject lined up for you. I know from past shows that myself and Brian have done, this one has gone down an absolute treat. So, Brian, what are you looking forward to for today?
Oh, Kieran, thanks very much for introducing me again. Looking forward to get back into this here book again, Think and Grow Rich that we have done before. And for me, it's all about the attitude. That is everything we're all talking about. We mentioned last week, it's all about our positive thoughts, feelings, and actions. And today, we're going to get into exactly what that means for us. And me and you have realized that we have shifted our attitude in order to get different results in life. We had to change our attitude and we had to understand the definition of attitude. And now it is the thoughts, feelings, and actions. And as I say, we've got a chapter here that's going to line it up nicely to give us a better understanding of how we can change our attitude and implement it into our character.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I love the quote, change your attitude towards, or sorry, your attitude towards life is life's attitude towards you. So if you feel like you can't catch a break, all you have to do is change your attitude. But what I really want to start off in is attitude's not what we always thought it to be. At school it was always Kieran, you've got a bad attitude, you've got this, you've got that. But that's not what the attitude is. Your attitude is your energy, it's your aura, it's how you feel about everything. I know you always say, Brian, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Exactly.
And that's just your attitude, it's your aura, it's your energy. That's when you're doing something you're enjoying. Do you ever notice when you're doing something you like at work and the day just flies? Say like a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday afternoons always fly, but that's because you're in flow, you're tuned in.
Their attitude
It's
is
your
just like the
attitude.
weekend, and their thoughts, the thoughts and their feelings are all about what they're going to do that night, what they're going to do tomorrow. And that's the difference in attitude on a Friday than it is on a Monday because you have to prolong the week ahead.
Yeah,
But me and you understand that if you can start off the week with a good attitude of what anything, and every day is going to be that same vibration, like because it's only our thinking that makes it so, and we
yeah,
can change that thinking.
absolutely. I love that. That's why it's so important to choose your thoughts, because when you choose your thoughts, that's gonna you know affect how you feel, and then when you're feeling good, that's gonna affect your behavior, and ultimately your behavior is gonna the law of cause and effect. You take the action and you get the reaction, and the reaction is your result. So if you're operating with a good attitude, you can't help but attract good results. I love that.
No, that's exactly it. Like you just mentioned earlier there, like your attitude, where you are to life is your attitude back to you. Like, and what you're putting out, you're going to get back a tenfold. Like, so everybody's going through a hard time now. Thinking about what you've done to receive this hard time. Or say it could be a hard time because you're doing something else in life that you always wanted, but and you're in this uncomfortable zone, like you don't know whether it's going to work or not. It's that doubting place, like. So as I say, it's always keeping that positive state of mind of an attitude, like that attitude that yes, I am doing this and I am. It's going to bring me closer to my goals that we need to understand. And
Yeah, yeah.
believe
And
me,
I think that your attitude towards yourself is very important as well. That's how this ties in so nicely with autosuggestion. So, like autosuggestion, what do you automatically feel or say to yourself? We always say when you hear like the subject come up, how's work? How do you feel? What are you telling yourself? Oh, I don't want to go there. Don't ask me. Or is it a yes, love it, best quarter ever? So far we're loving it. When someone talks about money, when you're out and someone, it's time to pay the bill, what's your attitude? Because remember, it's only yourself, it's your attitude towards yourself. Even if you're not paying the bill or you're not doing whatever, when you hear of bills, what's your attitude? You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Or whatever it is, it's what are you telling yourself? If you know you've got a speaking engagement coming up, or you have to do something out of your comfort zone for work, is it an attitude of embracing it, or is it an attitude of, oh, I don't want to do this?
and that goes without saying there, Ken, that somebody's attitude stinks. That's an attitude towards one subject that probably stinks. There's one attitude, as Kieran says, there's so many different feelings and so many different thoughts and feelings that you have with these in every aspect with your relationships, with finance, with money, with your job. But I would say most of all, regardless of what you're doing, keeping a good attitude, regardless of what you do, like it's just when you're going to a job, if you can't have a good attitude where you're at now, don't be thinking that something's going to be better at the other side, because it won't be. It's your attitude that's the problem. That for me, we don't say that there and we lecture or do anything like that, because we do it because of the kindness of our heart, because we understand that we've done that for so bloody long that it's probably us that's getting in our own way. It's the way we've been given this, given this beauty to life. We've been given it, but we're not seeing it as a beautiful life. We mentioned there we're talking about Ciaran, what it mentioned there was a while back was about riches in this book. It was about the wealth, but it was our attitude when we don't have money. When we don't have money, our attitude is down, our shoulders are down, we're lacking, we're trailing our feet along the ground because things aren't going well. But that means our riches are still within us and everything that we have good in our life, but our attitudes change because we're thoughts and thinking about everything that we don't have.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, and that's so important. It's your attitude. It's your attitude that's going to dictate your results. So if you're not in the financial position you want and you've got a bad attitude about it, that's not going to change. If you're in a job that you don't like, you need to have a good attitude, as you said, Brian, in that job to set yourself up to become the person who attracts the means for the job you do want, or the opportunity, the promotion, your own business, whatever that may be. You need to start with the good attitude. Like Earl Nightingale always says that it's start where you are now. Start with what you've got. Start here today. Again, it's the thoughts, feelings, and actions.
And it's just trying to make them automatic in your life, Ciaran. It's just trying to get that it's every time that you want to be going, that something pops up on you, you know that you've already programmed that attitude into exactly what the way you want to do. You want to react exactly the way you would love to react and respond to things, rather than reacting, responding to it with the proper attitude. If somebody annoys you at something at work, it's your attitude towards them that's going to reflect back at you. Everybody's just a mirror image of who you are. So think about what you did to them beforehand before you start reacting to them, and then everything changes. We always know, Ciaran, that instead of change the way you look at things and things you look at change. That's us changing our attitude. That's our perception that we've learned. But trying to get these things into an automatic thing so life doesn't keep happening to you, happens for you. And that's where we get that mindset of
exactly. And that's why autosuggestion is such a powerful tool. Is that what you're automatically suggesting to yourself? What are you telling yourself about yourself? Are you telling yourself that you're confident, you're vibrant, you're successful? Or are you telling yourself that you're useless, you're not able, you're not nice things? Because I know a lot of people do that. And I know that's something that I done for years. And it was just being self-conscious.
Well,
it's not known. Like whenever you're self-conscious, all your focus is on yourself. So when you're focused on yourself, you can't express yourself. And that was where I would find like awkwardness, not being able to express myself because all my focus was on myself. I was saying things. We'd be in a conversation and I wouldn't even be listening to you, Brian. I would be worrying about what you think about this or that because that was my auto-suggestion. I was just holding it all in. And then, as we know, when we can't express ourselves and we suppress it, that's what leads to anxiety. That's what eventually leads to depression. But that's why this auto-suggestion is so important, because that can be your first stop of releasing your anxiety. Like having the little trigger for, whatever it is you want to build, if it's confidence, having the little triggers that you say, I am confident. And then when you say that to yourself, and if you repeat a lie to yourself enough times, it becomes the truth. So I just love this chapter.
And that's when it becomes about, we talk about auto-suggestion. If you hang around with a certain amount of people at the time and their characteristics and their attitude towards life is going to rub upon you, and that becomes your auto-suggestion. People understand, why, I don't even know why I said that. Why I don't even know why I don't like that, because why? Because I'm hanging around a lot of people that do that there and they don't like that and they say these things. That becomes your auto-suggestion. That becomes your attitude then. And it says here, Ciaran, in the first bit of it there, it says, it is the agency of communication between the part of the mind where conscious thought takes place and that which serves as a seat of action for the subconscious mind. So that we talk about all our results. We talked last week heavily on that there, that all our results, 97% of results coming from the subconscious mind and 3 to 4% of the conscious mind. Well, this is telling us the auto-suggestion is the medium between that. So that's kind of breaking it through. So then you can plant that seed directly in there into the subconscious mind, and then whatever you plant shall grow. So what we're talking about here, we're planting thoughts. Thoughts are your seed. So you plant that thought in the thing, and what we do constantly over and over and over again, you're going to plant more of that in. It becomes an automatic in your life, an auto suggestion, and you don't know where it comes from. If you sat on and listened to me and Ciaran here each week when we go through this material, consciously you think you're not listening, but if you stuck with it subconsciously, it'll take in. The more you listen to it, the more it comes. You'll hear yourself speak to somebody out of a conversation about something, about why this has happened to me. You'll hear it. Me and Ciaran have seen it ourselves so many times. It's like sitting watching yourself in the third presence. When you hear auto suggestion, you hear all this stuff coming out of your mouth, and you're like, what? Who's saying this here? Because you didn't even know you had it in there. But when you reiterate this material over and over and surround yourself with the likes of Ciaran, the people that I've been surrounding myself with, and this here then becomes your main language. This is exactly what you're talking about all the time.
Yeah.
We've now created an automatic response in our life.
Yeah, I love that. And it's because, as we mentioned last week, on the subconscious, we're always trying to program our subconscious, because it's the tool that's going to serve us with what we want. So think of it that way. If you knew you had a tool that produced this magic machine that produced whatever you thought about, whatever, and you're the operator, that internal voice, those things you say to yourself, you're saying it to the operator, and then you're asking the operator for good results. It's not going to work. You need to be kind to it. You need to be kind to yourself, because you are the operator. You're programming yourself. And what's so important, and Napoleon Hill puts it so well here, that he says that you need to mix emotion and faith with your words. For you to really, really get in, really impress your subconscious mind, once you mix faith and emotion with those words, that's where the magic happens. It's quoted here, day by day, I get better in every way. That's a great affirmation to start with. How is your day today, Brian? Great. Day by day, I get better and better. And it's things like that. Watch what you say when someone asks you how you are.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you. What is it? Not so bad. Just getting through.
Not too
bad. Just trying to get through the day. Not too bad. Language is something that we've been created through heredity in our environment, that certainly we all come from, like, not so bad.
It's so interesting. It's so funny. Just make a point, make a game of it. The next 3 people you meet, ask them how they are and take note of what they say.
What do you say, Ciaran?
Great.
Awesome. Absolutely amazing. I mean, one when I used to work with BT, and then like anybody asked me, absolutely amazing. And in the house, I'd be working in the house, and they're just looking around. What's so great about today? Because you don't hear people say it's absolutely amazing. It's unbelievable. It's standard, because it is that. And auto suggestions takes to me, then if I keep saying that over and over again, my girlfriend asked me when I come home, like, it was unbelievable. It was unreal.
It's a great day. Yeah, great results. I'm doing fantastic today. And that's it. And then again, you repeat that lie to yourself enough, becomes the truth. And I just love that. But I really want to just talk on the faith and emotion, that you have to believe that so I love using the example of confidence, because I feel most people can work on their confidence, and I love it, because you have to believe that you can become a confident person. If you're not confident right now, that's okay. You need to first of all want to become one, and believe that you can, and then repeat, build that auto suggestion, and then you will be. And I love that. And it's I love Wayne Dwyer when he talks about it. It's like, if you knew who walked with you, you would never have any doubt or worry. So if we knew what we were capable of, in comparison to jumping on and doing a video, starting a podcast like this, whatever it is that you don't feel confident in doing, if you knew what you were capable of, what you want to do is more than likely very minute.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny. Like, we all have so much ability and potential. We can create anything, and it's just that's. I know for me, that's the biggest one, to go in such a short amount of time, going from okay, yeah, my goals are this to, oh, no, this is what I want. And, once your confidence develops and your understanding, awareness, your goals start developing, everything develops.
Yeah, it is
I love that.
faith, lad, and emotion, and then
Yeah.
putting it in and keeping that over. And as you say, then failure is not an option. You can't fail. Yes is inevitable. You were born rich. We're just trying to remind ourselves of that richness in our life.
Yeah.
What does it say here? Auto-suggestion is as Napoleon goes on, is the agency of control through from which individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect, permit thoughts of destructive nature to find their way into enrich the garden of the mind. So the garden's laying wide open, and you can plant any seed you want at all. Like, and as I say, if you don't choose to plant the weeds of success, or the weeds of the seeds of success, if you don't plant the seeds of success and all the dreams and stuff, well, in its place will be the pains, the failures, and the lack. I don't think there'll be much failures in your life, because you know why? If you don't try, you'll never fail.
Yeah.
The worst thing in life is to conform, and the worst thing in life, with me and Ciaran talk about, is comfortable. And if you stay in the one place the whole time, and this whole world's about growing, that's what you talk about, seeds in the seed of the mind, the garden of the mind. You want to be nourishing about nice, good thoughts, permitting these only in, because we and Ciaran talked last week. It was even, you're one thing you have in your world is full control of your mind. They're one agreement. You have full control of your mind, the thoughts that you have. So it just depends which ones you're going to permit in. Just see itself as a wee bouncer at the door. No, not for you today. Go you on ahead. And remember, if there's no bouncer there, you're going to let any thought in, and most of the place, if you're not get positive mental constraint or thoughts, then you're going to get the negative thoughts. And we know how destructive that can be over and over and over and over and over again. It builds nothing but fear, worry, anxiety.
Yeah, I love that. What was the first thing you built through autosuggestion, Brian?
I would say, Ciaran, it was gratitude. Gratitude. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm alive today. Like, even just grateful for water running top on. I went to the simple basic things that I knew I could be grateful at any moment that somebody couldn't have, which was a roof over my head. And that there, waking up with a sense of, I've got my pillow, I've got my warm blanket, I've got my warm bed, I've got me, that I don't do it anymore. I don't, because it's automatically in me now. I don't have to say it. I look around me, I drink the water, I know that I have clean running water in my tap. But this is the first thing, because I went to the simple thing: the bed, the pillow, the roof, the heating, the warm thing. All these things that I was simple, because I knew I was going to do them every day. So once I get into that built a state of gratitude, that became automatic. So eventually, when I went and done all these things, got my breakfast, the coffee, and everything, I was sitting in such a place of gratitude and a high state of vibration already before I started my day. So anything after that would be, but that was for me the way I would start. Auto suggestion for me. What about yourself?
I would say it was probably after the first time I read this, and I came on to autosuggestion. I think it was focus and determination and hard working. I'd never say hard work now, because I don't think that you should be hard working, but at the time that was my thing. The level of awareness I was at, you want to get somewhere in life, you need to work hard. So I was writing about, I would write about being disciplined, focused, and hardworking. And I had a great routine. I'd get up in the morning, I'd go to jiu-jitsu, come back, and I would, before I go to work, I'd be reading my affirmations, and I'd be always, the hardest working person I know, which I quickly became, which I quickly didn't want to be. And it was great. So that's one lesson I learned. Really be careful about what you write, because you'll get it. I quickly became the hardest working person I knew, and next thing, I didn't want to be hardworking anymore. So you back to the drawing board. It's you're confident, and now it's working less and earning more, and sharing what I love, and all about attracting the right people into my life, and it works every time.
Like, through auto suggestion, like, of that there, now that you understand that once you get auto suggestion in place, life gets a lot easier, because you're now programmed to do the things that you always desired and all the things you ever wanted.
Yeah.
So auto suggestion takes over. Like, as I say, it's just like driving an automatic car. There, you sit back and relax, and it'll take you, just steer there. That's all you got to do, is steer. No gears, no nothing. Just put her into cruise control, even. Life is
Yeah.
just as beautiful as that, but you get all the joys of it. People think the way we talk there, life wouldn't be as big an adventure. It is, because your goals get bigger, you're bigger and bigger, and you want more and more because you know how easy it is to get what you want.
Mhm. And then that's it. You just change the programming. You want to earn X. That's what you program. And remember, you need to be nice to the programmer. So that's why you should always, we always talk about being nice to yourself, self-love. That's the energy you're emitting. So if you can't be nice to yourself, how do you expect anyone to be nice to you? So it's always just being nice to yourself, building that auto-suggestion of what is your initial thought with regards money, work, whatever it may be. And I just love that. I love, having the list of and randomly just breaking into them. I love doing that.
Kieran, you just talked about their working hard and stuff, and just as Napoleon Hill says, now, there is a price to be paid. It says ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind that we know that is 97% of results has its price, and you must pay that price. You cannot cheat it, even if you desire to do so. The price of ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. So determine what you want from that. What does it say? Hard work, but it takes persistence. Persistence in applying the principles that you've learned, and what we talk about in this book. That's what me and Ciaran do over and over again. Instead of doing the physical action, we didn't realize, Ciaran, did you, that the biggest action you can take in life is thinking?
I know.
That blew my
I
mind.
know that. I know that now, but I remember learning that. I remember listening to The Strangest Secret, and Earl Nightingale saying, "What is it? 2% of the world think, 3% think they think, and 95% would rather die than think." And that's just, it's great, and it's because when you really break it down, and we now know that thought energy is the most potent energy in the world. It's what creates worlds. All these great things that like. You're mad not to think, and what am I going to have for dinner isn't thinking. What am I going to do this weekend? That's not thinking, because more than likely it's going to be a habitual answer anyway.
I'm the thing about it is you're going to be thinking anyway.
Mm.
Regardless, you're going to be like, why not just think the thoughts that you really want rather than the
That's
thoughts
it.
that have been planted in you by the TV, by the people. We're talking about programs like TV can program you watch enough of that EastEnders and stuff. Whatever attitudes have been expressed upon that there can be expressed through you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that is auto suggestion enough. You're doing an hour every night before you go to sleep. What are you doing? You're programming your mind. That's why we call them programs.
yeah. And that's it's crazy. It's I love asking people, would you want your child to become the character of the TV show that's on? Obviously, the answer is no right away. Well, it's like, why do you subject them to it for hours every day? Because that's just a repetition. So, especially when you're young, especially when your conscious mind hasn't developed, that outside influence is going to be what programs you. I read a great book there called What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it just talks about, how we build our paradigms and how we, the majority of the population go through life on a program that they haven't created. So people are going through life thinking thoughts, taking actions, being the people that they don't want to be, all because of someone else created, your programming, where it's upbringing, environment, hereditary, whatever it, it's a makeup of all of those things. But the beauty is we, through auto-suggestion, through this material, through these books, understanding, we can program ourselves to be, do, or have whatever we want.
When you start into that program and it goes on to say there, the subconscious mind, like when you go with that order or repetition over an idea that you want something, and you build that in, and that's the way it goes. The subconscious mind will hand over you the practical plans to deliver that there. And that's the thing we want. People say the hows are always the problem, but it's only until we become auto-suggestion of what we want. So somebody says, what do you want? Boom, it comes off your tongue, because not many people have a dream. What is it to say there? Maybe 94 or 95% of people don't even have a goal written down or anything like in the word. And that goes without saying there, that then they're not building the repetition. I don't know, but you, Ciaran, you carry a goal card.
Yeah, I have two of them.
As I say, my goal card is, well, you can just say it, up on the screen under there. It's on the front of the screen. So every time I look at it, and it's in the back, because that becomes another suggestion. It's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's in there because I carry cash in there as well. Now it's jammed in there. We all know what we had to do there. But that auto suggestion thing for me is always making sure that you're reminded about it, because if you are, the practical plans will be handed over to you eventually. But it's only through that repetition. It's law that the subconscious mind will hand you over practical plans. And you know what? Even if it's never been done before, which has always been the case of everything being created, the plans were handed over. And that's what we got to do. Like, but it's getting this into your auto suggestion, into your mind. If somebody asks you, what do you want? Boom. Ciaran, what do you want? Where do you want to live, Ciaran? I asked you there now.
Yeah. La Jolla, yeah.
Yeah, you know exactly where's the house at, and what part is it, like, what do you call the neighbor, what kind of dog do you have, this is it. Like, Ciaran's got a picture and a painting of where he's sitting at and all. So yeah, so Ciaran, because one man works on pictures, he's auto suggesting himself. It's an incredible thing. Hey there, like he's got that there. Exactly.
I always have it there.
It's a screen, that's your screensaver.
Yeah.
So he knows where he's going, and that's auto suggestion for him. So that means that it's going to give the universe eventually is going to hand him over plans how to accomplish that goal.
Yeah.
Stepping his mind over and over.
It's just going to build your belief, and it's like fertilizing the soil. So we always talk about the subconscious being your garden, fertilizing that soil through auto suggestion, so you believe that you can have it. Because especially when you're starting out, I know I never actually, even things I have now and what I'm doing now, I never believed that I could have them. But through auto suggestion, you build the belief, and then when you believe, believing it's the first requisite to receiving it, and that's done through auto suggestion. And I just love that. It's just that, again, the idea, the repetition of the idea, it's over and over. It's that programming. But one thing I just want to point out, that, and again, I just want to read it directly from the book. So Napoleon Hill says, if you do as you have been instructed in spirit as well as in action, a whole new universal power will unfold to you. So what's so important there is we're all doing it in spirit. We have to do it in action. So if you want to become confident, do the auto suggestion, but you need to act it also. That's like your goal card there, brain. I know what's on it, and I know you act it to yourself. If I had this, what it says in this card, what would I be doing? Exactly. I know you recently,
For me, one of these goals is exactly what we're doing here now. Mm-hmm. It's the ultimate. Me and Ciaran know that the ultimate goal certainly is not when we sit down and we have our goal in our hand, our physical presence. It's what we done to get that goal, what life was all about. Me and you know that, lad. If we were given it tomorrow, the biggest disappointment would have been we had to skip the journey. We never want to be these people that won the journey. Like, to be honest, winning the lottery just wouldn't be. I can make more people happier, yes, with winning the lottery, but it wouldn't give me the fulfilled desire of me going after hunting down what I'm going, because I know it's going to be a lot more worthwhile than somebody going after lottery.
That's like what Jim Rohn says. If you won the lotto tomorrow, you better become a millionaire quick.
I love that there. I love that. And it is.
I love it. It took me a long time to understand that a goal is not what you get. That's what you get is a byproduct of it. It's the experience. It's what you become. And I love that. That's why we can visualize our goal right now. I can close my eyes and go. You can close your eyes and go around the world. You can close your eyes and go anywhere. And that is us experiencing it on the spiritual plane. But we don't get that on the physical plane right away. Because if you got everything that you wanted right now, the Amazon van is at your door, Brian, with everything you want in it, you wouldn't be able to handle it. You wouldn't have the space in your house. You couldn't. And that is why we have our gestation period. And that's why we have to grow and become people again.
As you do, you have to, I know we have to grow and become, but even when they're looking at something, they have to give it in detail. You have to give it and describe it, because when you're going on Amazon and you just type in parcel, you get anything in that parcel. You you need to be, you have to write in, it goes into the search bar, you go into the description, and you type in the description of something you want before it comes to you, you actually tell them the detail. The universe is very much like Amazon, very
Yeah.
much like that there, and it'll give it to you, and it's packing it up straight away for us. It's up to us to decide what it is we really want. And when you do that through this here, we're talking about the attitude, like attitude, we want to build this attitude, or attitude, like Ciaran can ask me exactly where I want my attitude, knows exactly what I've got, a sense of purpose, I've got definite
Yeah.
purpose and aim, and I've got the principle of persistence in there that's going to be, and I'm disciplined in exactly what I do in order to get that and receive that, because I'm following Think and Grow Rich, and this is what we're
As
doing,
well,
thinking and
yeah.
growing rich.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such a great tool that you can just put straight into practice. And that's what I'm all about. It's right, this is great. How can I do this? I don't like reading a book and putting it down and that's it. I like reading a bit and going, right, I can do this. How can I do this?
Apply application,
How can, yeah. So
knowledge.
auto-suggestion, how can I do it? Write an X on your hand every time you see it. I am prosperity. I am whatever it is. Whatever it is you want to become, write an X on your hand every time you see it. Say that affirmation to yourself. I've
Because
done that.
whatever you think you are not now, you're right, and that's the only way to change it at the minute. Is doing the likes of what Ciaran saying there. What Ciaran didn't make this up. This has been written for years. Like
Yeah,
nor do I. Like this is right. This is Thinking and Growing Rich. The book. This is Thinking and Growing Rich. This is us. You don't just thinking and rich. There's a
yeah,
growth period between you getting it. Like we know that there's laws in the universe how we have to apply them all, and that's the reason why. But you're thinking something there that's not good about yourself. Me and Ciaran know that's one thing we have our back more than anybody else. I don't know if there's nobody kinder to me than me.
yeah. And that
That's the
again,
way I be my everyday and my life, man.
and that brings it just straight back to that's going to be your energy. That's your attitude. Like that is it. You can know. We know there's people that walk into the room and the whole room goes, oh, because you can feel that energy. The energy enters the room before the person. You
Yeah.
can feel it. You hear the car and you go, oh. Or then there's another car you hear and you go, yes. Because the good energy enters the room before the person. You
And
feel it, you know it.
I think that like your body's only vibrating of what you're thinking. So if you want to fuel a car up or whatever it is, like you're fueling up with all the good stuff, and your body's going to vibrate that energy out of what your thoughts are. You can't bullshit that there energy. You can't, that's going to be an aura that's going to be sent out. Regardless of me and Ciaran always talk about when you send an emails, people are all working from home these days, but if you go on off that person here, but you end up doing the typing up the email and it's a bad vibration, but you try and send it as nice as ever. That's been received exactly in the vibration that you sent it with. And I've said this so many times to my girlfriend, like, and it's incredible that that's exactly the way it is. She understands it now. Don't bother with email because it's going to be the vibration. Regardless of what word you write, it's going to be sent through the energy. And that's why we understand that we're not our bodies at all. Like, we're something bigger and greater. Just an instrument of the mind, this body is. We're much bigger and part of a collective spirit in the world, an infinite intelligence, and all we are. Like what you do in another is what you're doing upon yourself. That's what you got to get into this understanding about. So if you're being nasty to somebody else or being hurtful to somebody else, you're being hurtful to yourself because we are all consciously collective. So it is. So this is the reason why we talk about the Bible, to help your neighbor and all this here and help one another, and you'll help yourself. Well, that's the beauty of that attitude that we have now, that understanding this book is more or less collectively letting us know that we're all one state of consciousness. We're all part of one bigger picture. So if you harm that outer picture, then you're harming this inner picture. And that's the reason why you feel better about doing something for another. And that's the reason why you feel good, because that energy has traveled into another part and it's made the whole consciousness a lot better.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's like we know that energy is omnipresent. It's in all places at all times. So you need to control that. And how do you control the energy? How do you control your energy? Your thoughts. How you think is how you feel. How you feel, that's going to set up the state of vibration that you're in. And then, that state of vibration, how you feel, is going to determine the vibration of your body, which is, going to determine your behavior. And that's why, we we touched a little bit on paradigms of programming, that someone else can potentially, if you're not aware, if you're not, consciously aware of what you're doing, somebody else can potentially control your behavior, because if you're not controlling your own mind, somebody else is going to control it, because thought controls the vibrations. So Brian, I could say something to you now and I could make you really angry and you could turn around and punch that wall. That's my thoughts controlling your behavior, because he's conditioned to get mad whenever I mention X. But Brian, I know you're at the level of understanding where you don't react, you respond, because you control your thinking. And it's so beautiful. And I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. That's straight from this chapter, and that's exactly what it means. I'm the master of my fate. I'm the master of what I'm going to experience in my life. I'm the master of my soul, because I'm the master of my thinking. I'm the master of how I feel. I'm the master of my attitude.
That's one that I use every single day. And how is it now that I have used an auto-suggestion, which is a trigger in my life? Talked about it before. And that's in the shower. I'm in the shower and I say, I put it on, like I do the warm shower, then I turn it around to the coldness. And I say, I am the captain of my fate, and I am the master of my soul, and I'm in control. And when I say that, I grind my teeth, because I know what I'm about to do. I'm about to step into it. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul, and I am in control. And that is the thing that I do, because I know I put my body, I'm telling it, I am the boss here. I'm in control of life. I'm stepping into this because I'm teaching myself that I'm always in control. And that's a beautiful thing that because every day we're going to the shower, we're getting washed, but captain of my fate, master of my soul, and I am in control. The water's breaking down. It's really cold. It's annoying, and I need the anger, because we always know that what's thoughts and then emotionalized with it will give you more. And I can come out of it, and I am firing boxes when I come out of that chair, because I know there was no need for me to stand in that chair. But it's disciplining myself and persisting at myself. I'm teaching the principles. I'm teaching the willpower that we need to go after and achieve anything. And then I'm rehearsing that over my mind, that I'm the captain of my fate, master of my soul, and I am in control. When I'm doing that over and over again, I am putting it in an auto-suggestion. And people say, am I in control? Of course I'm in control. I have full confidence in myself. When somebody asks me to do anything, I have complete control, because I rehearse it every day. I put myself through that ritual every day, because I want me to understand that I am in control.
Yeah, I love that. I just love those triggers, setting up triggers. I always spend my time in the shower visualizing. Like this morning, we're going to Canada now in September, and I spent a lot of my time visualizing that trip. What it's going to be like. Visualizing every time I'm in the shower. I'm in the shower in Canada, getting ready for my trip. Getting ready for my day ahead, going to my conference, and I love it. I love doing it.
What you just said there, the word trigger. Everybody's got a trigger. Everybody can use something as a trigger. I used to use the gratitude rock. Hey, gratitude, once I put it in my pocket, the wee rock, I touched it, boom, I was grateful for something in that moment. Ciaran has it here, and he says, I'm prosperity, and axe in his hand. He's the share that he now is a goal. It's this visualization. Once the water hits his head, boom, he knows where he's going. He's off on his journey. He goes in. For me, I'm disciplining myself. I'm putting will. I'm putting, desire. I'm putting all that there in energy into me. I'm coming out of it. This is the things that we can do for ourselves. So figure out for yourselves where you can get these tips, where you can implement these in your life, because we have talked about it. It's our attitude that's going to dictate our life and our results that we have in our life. I say to you, pick up something that we have said here today and implement it, because you know what? It can change your life.
It can, 100%. And what I would do is take the area you feel you need the most help, the most change, write it down, write the complete opposite, and there's your auto-suggestion. If you're not happy with your weight, write down that you are happy with your weight, and that you're at a weight that you're happy with. Whatever it is, because this works for everything, because this is, it's consciousness, and we know consciousness is everything. So it has to work for everything.
And if you can't
Everything.
make yourself happy, make somebody else happy, because that's going to make you even more and more happier than you ever were. Like, so people always say they're stuck and they're stuck and they're stuck. Go and try and make somebody else happy.
Yeah.
And it'll help you, you know. And simple, wee, small things like just smile until you start laughing, and then you realize, it is. It's all up to me. Happiness is just a state of being, and you can change any state you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love that, Brian. We're human beings, not human doings. It doesn't matter what we're doing. It matters how we are. The being is what matters. And what controls the being? Your thinking, your energy, the state of consciousness you're in. So that's why we all have a choice. You know, Einstein, he says we all have to make a decision. Do we want to have a universe full of love and joy, or do you want a universe full of hate and fear? Because whichever you pick, that's what you're going to experience. So I think Einstein knows a thing or two.
exactly, that is brilliant. Like, you know, people just have a choice to make, and that's it. Every day you're making a choice.
Yeah.
But learn.
It's not going to come right away.
Yeah, the auto-suggestion is the key to this.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to be thinking all the time, because you know what, they think it's hard to think. Well, the problem is you're doing it anyway, so what do you want?
And then it's like that channel. You're heading down one channel. How do you head to the other channel? Auto-suggestion. That's it. You're going one way. We're going one way. We want to go the other way. We do it through auto-suggestion. You slowly but surely start to turn around. Next thing you know, you're going in the other way. And I love it. And it'll be such a surprise the first couple of times. You're like, yeah, that's right. I love that.
Yeah. No, it is. And that's what I say. So everybody tune into their attitude.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure again this week again,
Ken. Yeah, thanks everyone. I love this. Again, I love all these chapters. I completely love this book and this material in whole, but I love auto-suggestion. It's something that I always, when people are looking for a tool that they put in right away, it's the one I go straight to. The X on the hand, walking through door frames, every time you go outside, every time you go to the bathroom, whatever it is for you, set up your auto-suggestion. Another one is do it when you're brushing your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I am prosperity. I am confident. I am whatever it is you want to be. Remember, human being, whatever you want to be, write it on your bathroom mirror, and when you're brushing your teeth, say it. So that's it for this week, everyone. Thanks so much. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. All the best.
Looking forward to next week, and we'll see you all on the next episode. So before we go, Brian, are we going to give them the wee preview? What's next week?
Faith.
Faith.
To have all this here, you gotta have the faith that it's.
Gotta have faith. Great place to start off. Thanks, everyone, and we really appreciate all your interaction across social media. And of course, don't be afraid to share it with all your friends. We'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.